Good day, everybody. It's Friday. Hope you're all doing very well. And welcome to everybody that's following along in the chat. We got Nick, Dark, Talia, Kevin, and Florencia. Hello. So we're carrying on with our tour of the Caribbean. We've made the loop. We're up back around to the north side of the islands, and we are getting ready to head on the final few legs back to the Bahamas. We're here in San Juan, Puerto Rico, where we've spent time since our last stop. It's rather windy. You can kind of hear it blowing. It's 19 knots of wind where we are right now. We've got that heavy easterly wind coming out at 060, so we're going to be using runway 10 for our takeoff. We're using the Twin Otter for the Norway tour, Dark. So we'll hop on board, we'll get fired up, we'll get the route programmed in, and then we are going to head out onto the flight. So let's hop on board. Maybe it's a little bit quieter inside the cockpit. Oh, would be if I hit the right button to get inside. There we go. Alright, so parking brake is, you can still hear the wind. It really is blowing out there. Get the battery on. We'll get the panel up and going. Turn on the fuel. There's Kevin over there in his DC-3. I'll get some lights going here. Alright, we'll get rid of that. We'll kill the thank you. Kill the warning. We'll get the fuel boost pump on. Get the ignition on. And let's get her started. We can let her warm up while we program everything in.
TOS system test. Okay.
Alright, we got rotation on the prop. And we'll bring up the fuel to ground idle. Alright, looks like she's coming up fine. Boost pump can go back to normal, ignition will go to normal, starter motor will come off. We'll put on the second display. So we'll get rid of the map there. We're going to go over to the CDI, turn that over to navigation mode. The PDF we'll go into, we'll select wind option 3, and we'll come back to here. We're going to go over to the transponder, and we're going to set the code to the standard North American IFR default of 2000, and we will turn it on just so that it's on and out of the way. I'll grab the weather where it currently sits at the moment. We don't need the well. Actually, I'll put the remarks in because it looks like it's really going to get windy down here in a little bit. See at 1840.
Give me the bottle.
Well, I'm not sure what that is, but it says the winds are going to go 060 at 27 knots eventually. So definitely getting a little bit windy. So there's the weather in. So we'll set the barrel on both sides and the alternate. That's all set up. So let's head over to our flight plan now while everything starts warming up inside the aircraft. As I mentioned, it's a lot of straight routes as we head out. We are going to enter our flight plan. Let's see if I can do it right this time. We are at Tango, Juliet, Sierra, Juliet, and we are going to be flying from there. We're going direct to the RET2. Is that what the waypoint is? Let me just check. Oh, we're on Route 2. We're going basically direct to Boca. That's Bravo, Oscar, Charlie, Charlie, Alpha. Bravo. I should have done this importing it, but I didn't. Charlie Alpha. And we want the, yeah, that one's too far away. That's the one we want. TJ. We're then going to BQN. So B, go backwards for the Q. And we'll go backwards for the N. And from there we're heading to Antex. It's Alpha, November. Tango. Echo. X-ray. Should be able to go forward because there shouldn't be too many. Ooh, there we are. And then for there we're going to Gossel. Golf Oscar Sierra Uniform Lima. Golf Oscar Sierra Uniform. It's nice it kind of self-filters as you go through. It's 159 miles away. That one is 1100, so that's not the one. And then it is our destination, MDSD. So we'll go yeah, this way. M D S D. There we go. So there is our flight plan in. We can go to our procedures. We're going to, we don't have a departure. It's going to be a kind of a direct out. We're going on the Gasu 2 Golf arrival. So we'll go to our arrivals. And we are doing the Gossel 2 Golf, there it is. And let me just, there's no transitions. We're going for runway what runway do they want? 17. That's correct. So we can come down here and load that in. In our approach, we're doing the ILS for runway 17. So we'll also go to procedure, select approach, and it's not the VOR. It's the ILS for 17. And is it CDO? Let me pull it up. Technically it's no, we don't want to do CDO. Let's see. We want the Vilsa. Let's see if it'll do the arc. Vilsa, I'm not worried about minimums. And we will load that in. Alright, we should be good with that. Excellent. Alright, so I think we're pretty much good to go. We'll get the taxi light on. I'm going to bring up, we'll open up the inertial separator. We'll get some lights on inside, make it a little bit more friendly. Everything is good here. Everything is up temperatures and pressure wise. Cruise altitude for today's sojourn is going to be a stunning 8,000 feet today. So we'll crank that in. And with those easterly winds, we're expecting a nice tailwind to push us all the way there. All right. I think we are pretty well good to taxi. So everybody is ready. All right. So parking brakes are off. We'll wheel around here since the ground staff don't seem to want to move. And we're going to head down this way towards runway 10. Ready now to hotel here. And there's only a couple more legs to go after this one. $8,000 feet, Talia. So I'm just going to go down to Hotel 3. We don't need the entire length. Not with this wind coming in. We'll be off the ground pretty quickly. So, other than that, I hope everybody else is... Oh, we got dark here. Excellent. 4 caravans and a DC-3. Hope everyone's doing well and enjoying the nice weather. It's certainly has changed over here for us in the North American continent. We've got some... I think the forecast for the next 10 days doesn't have any temperatures below freezing. And I was out at 7 o'clock this morning... went for a walk and it was 6 degrees, so it was absolutely gorgeous. And like I was saying in chat, was down by the water in Lake Ontario yesterday, and 16 degrees, sunny, crowds of people everywhere, just out enjoying everything. So there's Hotel 4. We're going to go up to Hotel 3, which is the 90-degree one we can see coming up here. And I can really see that windsock there stretched straight out. So you can tell that doesn't work. I don't know how well it works in the sim, but these stripes mean things. So depending on the strength of the wind is how many of these stripes will be hanging limply. So you can tell if it's straight out, I think that, like it is there, I think the wind's greater than 15 knots. If the first section is hanging down, it's like 12 knots. At the second section, 9 knots. So it kind of works like that. I'm not sure the exact speeds, but you can read the windsock and tell roughly how strong the wind is up to a point, and then it's just above. It's either 15 or 20 knots. I can't remember the exact number. Alright, so as we come up, we're going to put the fuel into flight idle. we'll hear the engine pick up. Alright, we'll go propeller fully forward and flaps to 10. Glide path is oops, don't want that. How'd that stop that? We're gonna head straight out, so we'll put on the strobes and the landing lights. Five knots per section, yeah. I knew it was roughly that, and it's no, it's actually a quick and dirty gauge on the rough wind approximation. I mean, it is also for visibility. It is very visible, but like right now, looking at it, if you were to count, so there's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So the winds are about 20, because that's drooping. Say about between 15 and 20 knots, because you got the white part drooping a little bit as well. And we know the winds are about 18 knots or so right now. So it's not bad. It's pretty accurate. All right. Looks like we're getting everybody out. Let's go flying. Takeoff power set. There's 70 knots. And we're up. I'm going to bring the prop RPMs back to 1800. As close as I can get it. Gonna hold our heading initially, so autopilot on heading. We'll go into flight level change. Should start bringing the nose up. No, it doesn't seem to want to do it, so we'll go into vertical speed. We'll get her up to about 1,000. And flaps coming up. Power back for the climb. And we'll begin our turn. As we're leaving San Juan. I believe that's the famous San Juan hill over there. Not 100% sure. Oh, you seeing him as a default airliner? Yeah. It does look odd when that happens. So we're heading direct on course now. At least we're heading down to pick up the course. I'll take us back over this way. I'll just watch the climb out. Let's see, we're coming back to the airport to get on course. We'll turn off the landing lights. We'll leave the recognition lights on. And off we go. And we got a nice 17 knot tailwind at the moment. So we should make good time on today's flight. I'm going to decrease our rate of climb to about 800 feet. Yeah, Kevin makes me keeps making me download all these aircraft that he keeps flying, Meteors and DC-3s and Me-109s. It's nice though. It's nice to see the actual airplanes pop in. There he is. There's the airport. Oh, there's somebody in a jet taking off down there. He's flying an Air Force all by himself. So as per usual, we have a Discord if anyone wants to come along, see what we're flying. These are all community-based flights, either multiplayer or VATSIM. Details are all on the Discord. So I'll throw it up in the chat. There's also a link on the YouTube page if you want to get it through there. I think there should be a link on the Twitch channel as well. But there is in the chat. I'll copy the physical link over into the Twitch page, Twitch chat, so that you guys can click through there. And in tomorrow's stream, we're oh, I'll have to get that one. I've got to go through and do an update on all my mods. It's been a little while, but I have to do that. Tali says there's a Twin Otter update. I'll have to check that out later today and see what we have there. Yeah, not to be confused with the Rocket Air Force. The original Air Force was so good. Another airstrip down there. Interesting. Alright, so we're coming up through 5,000 feet. And we're just gonna, our route basically takes us along, well, let me bring up the route so you can see. As they say in the movie TV business, you know, don't tell, show. So we took off out of San Juan here. Oops. And we're going to be flying basically right up along the north coast of Puerto Rico. And we're heading west across the water. And we're going to come in on the south coast of the Dominican Republic. And we'll be landing here at Santo Domingo on the south coast. Basically coming in, we should be making a right turn up and around, pick up the ILS and come in for landing. I think people are saying it's working, Nick. I have not tried it myself. Kevin, you might know a little bit better. I think you were following that a bit closer. Apparently the guy said it fixed some of the issues, but he wasn't specific about what the issues were, according to what I was reading in the chats. I don't know who said it. I think it was, might have been somebody here, I don't know. Oh yeah, so since the next leg on the F1 tour over on Blues stuff is a short one, I'm thinking about doing it Sunday after the Pan Am stream. So maybe take an hour break to kind of reset myself and then go in and do that two-hour leg if anyone wants to join me. I'll be doing it in the A320. And giving that a shot. Well, I know it works, and doing it there just to get that one in. It'd be nice if that fixed the problem, because if I do the leg 3 in the A320, it's going to take 3 legs to do it. I've planned out a route for both. If I do it in the A330, I can do it in 2. Well, I'll do it in 2 legs. I don't want to be up for 11, 12, 13 hours, 14 hours, but like broken into 2 legs, using Singapore as a halfway point. If it's 3 legs in the A320, then it'll be Colombo and Sri Lanka and Bali for the 2 stopping points. Alright, so 7,300, we're coming up on our cruise altitude. When we get there, we're going to readjust our power settings for the cruise. Yeah, I like the A330. I like the Prime cargo livery thing I got set up for it, but I gotta make sure the sim doesn't bog down. That's the killer for me at the moment. Alright, so we're coming to level flight, 8,000 feet. So props coming back to 1,700. Right about there, power is set. I think he's using the A340. No, sorry, Nick. He got the 767, and I think there's a freighter variant that he's got. If he's doing that in 1 leg, man, that's oop, I can get rid of put that in. Alright, so everything is set up. Hand out some water bottles to the people in the back, and let's see if we can tune in the local radio station. There we go. It's actually one of the places I want to visit. A little bit of history down here. The San Juan and all the stuff that happened. Nick, Sunday, let me take a look. I think it's 3 hours. So the Pan Am flight should be 3 hours, and the leg 2 for the other flight should be 2 hours and a little bit. Yeah, 2 hours 10 minutes for that one. So shouldn't be too bad. The stream on Sunday is not one of the longer ones for the DC-6. If you're flying the Aerosoft CRJ and get a diff pressure warning, how do I fix that? Hi, Jaysri. Is that due to your cabin pressure? Did you remember to set your takeoff pressure and then your landing pressure when you came at the other end? Those are manual things that you have to set up for the pressure. I'm assuming it has something to do with the cabin pressure, and those are the only things. Everything else in there should be automatic, but you do have to manually set what those numbers are. Dark, it's 1300 Zulu for tomorrow's flight time. Oh, so coming up, and I don't know where it is. But this is the town of Arecibo. So somewhere around here. Oh, is it a fuel issue? Oh, okay. I was going to say the fueling should be okay. It should just... because I think they feed off separate tanks. Oh, flight time tomorrow. Oh. Sorry, Dark. It's not that long. It's the Norway one. Let me just look it up quickly. Estimated flight time for tomorrow is 1 hour and 20 minutes. So somewhere out here in these hills is where the famous Arecibo telescope used to be before it collapsed. Oh, looks like we got another airport down there. So, Dark, I hope that helped. Unless what you're asking by how long is you want the distance in nautical miles, in which case I'd have to look that one up as well. So, yeah, I'm assuming it's down here somewhere in the mountains, south of the city. Because it's set in a circular, almost a caldera type of thing out here. It's like a pretty cool river valley coming out of here. Couple of little coastal towns left, and then we kind of hit the end of the island over here. I think there's like a little ridge of hills or stuff right along the edge, and then we're out over the water. Just admiring the view here. Nick's off trailblazing ahead, but I don't know, the weather's fine for the flight. He can tell us if anything weird happens up ahead. There's that little ridge of mountains. Kind of cuts inland. Definitely got some North Shore cliffs down here. Very interesting hill formations here, very rugged. Of course, we're coming up to the little town up here of Isabella, and then we head out over the water. Again with the deep gorge down here with the river. Let's see, we got another airport up here at the end of the island. I guess it's servicing the main town up in this end, Mocha. Just watching Nick head southwards. You circling around, Nick? Or do you leave something back in San Juan? MOCA, actually, Kevin. I'm assuming it's pronounced mocha. It's a pretty simple. I got you making it wanting a coffee. It's a pretty simple spelling. Oh, you're just circling around? Okay. I thought it was one of those uncontrolled 360s that we sometimes get in some of the airplanes. Well, it depends, I guess, what the name of it stands for or what it means, but... But anyway, there's the edge of Puerto Rico. And then we're going to head out over the water. Head towards the cloud banks there, but that's the Dominican Republic off that way. So we've got about 96 miles to go to the entry point for the arrival. And I'm gonna see, it didn't show me charts for it. Let's see if I can find it. But it has RNAV stars for all the runways. Which we're kind of doing. Well, I guess it's good enough. So when we hit Gosel, there's a lot of aboves, but no hard altitude restrictions until, I guess, Volam, which is, where's Volam? I'll take us on the arc. I guess 3,000 feet at Visla is what we're gonna want. So we'll maintain 8,000 until we get to roughly Pivar, and then we'll descend down to 3,000 feet. So we have plenty of time to cruise and enjoy the sights. Some beautiful clouds here. So we've got about 9 legs left in the DC-6 Pan Am Tour. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 6, 7, 8. 9. All right. And of course, that tour is running on Sundays. We're currently in we did the beautiful approach into Kai Tak in Hong Kong last Sunday. Of course, having all the scenery for Hong Kong and the airport there made it really interesting coming in over the buildings. I'm looking forward to departing out of there on Sunday. Seeing which way the winds go for that one. Speaking of which, I'm just going to see what the departures have. Runway 31 departures, interesting. Takes us back out the way we came in, out over the town. And then we kind of like veer out from there. The 1-3 departure is boring. Takes us out over the water. Very interesting to see. Give you a little bit of music. I will be back in a couple minutes.
I'm gonna need one of those.
Big cafe at home. Coffee for coffee lovers.
Alright, I'm back. What did I miss? Doesn't look like anything. The weather's still pretty nice out here. Get a view forward, see if we can see anything coming up. Nice sun's going down here in the Caribbean. Alright, what did I miss? Doesn't look like anything. The weather's still pretty nice out here. Forward, see if we can see anything coming up. Sun's going down here in the Caribbean. When the clouds are working properly, they do look nice. I got a little island over there. Not sure which one that is. Let's see if I can find out. When the clouds are working properly, they do look nice. Forgot I had that on again. So that island is the Isla de Mona. There's a little airport there. It looks like a couple of resorts. Got some nice beaches. A hiking area. You can go camping on the beach there. A little lighthouse. There's no towns or anything. Couple parks. I think it's a place where you'd kind of pull up on a boat, or you can fly into the small airport by the looks of it. But definitely somewhere to go and visit. Looks like some nice clear tropical waters there. Just kind of make it out. We should be starting to have the see the Dominican coming up. I think it's under the clouds right now. I mean, we still have that 15 knot tailwind, almost a direct push, which is nice. Tell you, that'd be one hell of a bridge. Really. Be quite amazing. Oh, I can see the Dominican Republic there peeking out of the clouds. Very nice. Very nice indeed. So again, we're going to fly in a little bit over the island, and then we'll begin our descent down to 3,000 feet. Basically, we want to be at 3,000 when we make the turn to the north off of our roughly western heading at the moment. Yeah, I do like the way the clouds are dynamic. You can see the... like this is disappearing as the clouds move. Condense and uncondense, and... because of course they're condensing at the bottom and then they're being pushed up into the cooler air, and then they come out there. What are they going to do? Run it across the north and head it up? God, no. There's no need. That's just crazy talk. We do seem to be at the top of the cloud layers, though. We're skirting through them. Of course, if we get into these, it'd be a little bit bumpy. Oh, I love the way you can see the clouds through the hole. That's your 3D cloud modeling. That is fantastic. One of the things I haven't done, and I should look at doing that one day, is just set a camera up somewhere and record the day. Especially if there's storms moving in. Oh, you guys use a different gauge? Oh yeah, that gets confusing. You'd either have to... what did they used to do in Europe when they hit the country borders? They either had to change carriages and train sets, or I think some of them they actually lifted the train cars and changed the bogies. Either way, it's a royal pain. What's our ground speed at the moment? 182? Not that bad. There's the edge of the sun. See, when I was loading in and I was zooming in to pick my parking spot, you could see all the little clouds over Puerto Rico. I was putting them in there. Of course, this is live weather, live time. So we're actually seeing what it's like down there right now. And it looks glorious. What was this? Let's see what the current weather is. Where we're headed. 29 degrees. Wow. Winds are 120 at 10 knots. QNH is 1016. Yeah, Kevin. Yeah. Although you wouldn't want to do that over a large, like the entire country. Maybe into a main station or something. Ooh, dark. That, yeah. Imagine that. You hear the big bzzz, and then the whole train goes dark. That would not be good either. So it looks like we're about 27 miles from the entry point into the arrival. But as I mentioned, we are going to go a little bit further down before we descend. We'll probably have another 27 miles from there to Pivar, and then from Pivar we'll start our descent downwards. Although I haven't checked the GPS to see if it's actually taking us on anything resembling this type of route. Yeah, it is actually. And it looks like it's got the DME arc programmed in. We'll see what happens. And then you go to somewhere like India, and I think India uses standard British rate gale because the British built the roadways in India, so kind of all over the place. Brian, hey, how are you doing? Hope you got some good weather up there where you are. It was a gorgeous day yesterday, and not too bad today, although not as warm today. But it's nice to see we're on our way out of winter, finally. Well, we're feet dry here in the Dominican. Just crossing over the coastline here. See if we can figure out where we are. Verón is the town to the north of us. Looks like there may be an airport to the north, but I don't see any town names on my Navigraph maps. Looks like just some little communities and stuff along here. Oh, really? I wonder if that's one of the issues when they try to buy replacement cars and stuff. Trying to get it all to fit the gauge and that. Although it makes sense, it is just a subway system, so it's not interconnected anywhere. Welcome to today's stream where we fly airplanes and talk about trains. Oh yeah, much better than having a snow day. And it's hard to believe that just 3 days ago we were in the middle of a snowstorm here. There's the coast heading in behind us. So down, let's see where I'm looking here. Down here we have Boca de Yuma. A little bit further out, probably up around here, it's the little town of San Rafael de Yuma. So we're going to take it the Yuma is a river. Got a larger town off this way. Don't even know how to pronounce that one. Igui? Something along those lines. Yeah, I drove by the New Eglinton line the other day. I know it's not open yet, but I saw the rail and some of the stops are in place. And so a 12 knot, almost a direct 12 knot tailwind. I do have Train Sim World too. I'm gonna load up a freight train and talk about airliners. Then we'd have to fire up like Euro Truck Simulator and talk about shipping freight around the world in boats. So it's all looking very nice. So you fly over a very green area here. So interesting point. The other side of this island is, of course, Haiti, and a buddy of mine was in the UN mission down here years ago. And flying over the border, he said you could tell because it was green forest, you know, in the Dominican, like you get down here all the way up to the border, and then it was the entire western side of the island was deforested. And you could tell when you cross the border. There we go, San Rafael de Yuma. Yeah. You're coming in, there's a big green space down here. I don't know if it's a park or just a nature preserve. We've got another major town coming up. We're 7.5 miles from the entry point into the arrival. Again, we're going to stay at 8,000 for a little bit. Get the benefits of that push from behind. Just stay clear of any terrain. Although I think this part is pretty flat. It gets hilly, I believe, further west. So it looks like we got a couple extra waypoints kicking in, according to the map, or at least we're going by an airport anyway. There's a few airports around. It would. Yeah, they haven't had a good time of it. Yeah, MSA is 4,000, but the approach minimum on the approach it says 3,000, above 3,000, so it should be clear down to 3,000 feet. The routing has 3,000 as the minimum altitudes on the legs, so we'll go to 3,000. Get the nice views. All right, there we are. Yeah, we're going to PVAR now. So when we hit PVAR, we'll work our way down to 3,000. I mean, what Haiti needs is a total revamp of government from top to bottom, but I mean, that's years to do that. And the support from outside to carry them through the transition. It can be done, but you gotta get the right people in there to do it. You can see on the synthetic vision it is fairly flat here, even though we're in, can't see a lot because of the cloud layer. But we're coming up to one of the main southern towns, La Roma, here on the coast. There it is there. No, you're not wrong, Brian. It would definitely be a long process. And yeah, a major rethink on behalf of the people. And again, getting the right people in place, because it's too easy to get the dictators in, and there's nothing good ever comes of that. So let's look up the ILS frequency. We'll make sure that is properly tuned in. It is 108.9. We don't have auto tune here, so we're going to have to put it in there ourselves. There's 108.9. We'll switch it over to the active. Runway heading is 172 degrees. So what I'm quickly going to do is just go like this. We'll switch this over to that, and we'll dial that around to 172 degrees. Yeah, whatever. We'll go this way. We'll get the localizer course in. There we go. So we can switch back over to nav mode. I think we're pretty much set with that. Minimums for us on the straight in ILS is going to be 260 feet. Ha! Good point, Talia. Yeah, I agree. There's P-bars coming up. Just changing my view around to the approach plate, or the arrival plate, anyway. Some nice beachfront here. following the southern coast of the Dominican Republic at the moment.
Isn't it nice to know that a flexi line can help you do that? Maybe it's that kitchen you've been dreaming of or the property you've had your eye on. Find out why Canadians have been trusting Capital Direct for 25 years. Could you use 200,000, 500, 1 million, or even 3? Call Capital Direct today at 1.
Yeah, I could use $3 million.
It's available to you.
So is there an NDB here? Let's find out. Oh, there's one close by. So if we turn on 200. And 200. That's the LAS NDB, which we should fly over as we come in. So I'm going to tune that in. We're going to come down here. ADF 200, yeah, that's good. And let's put it on the ADF. Oh, we're already pointing to it. There we go. Nice. So we're 4 miles out. So we're going to set 3,000 feet. We'll go down gently. We got time. We do got to make the big loop around to come in on the ILS. Who do you mean, Talia? The government wants to get the money back? Or investors? Investors is the trouble. It has to be long-term investing, and you have to invest for the future. Well, that doesn't look good. What's it doing there? Oh, there's the LAS. Where's it going? SD3. Oh, and then it's looping back around. Is that what it's doing? Oh, then it's... It's got two different things in here. Can I cancel? I don't know. Well, I think we're going to be going into heading mode at some point. Anyway, time to start down. Flight level change. Pull a couple foot-pounds off. Let's let her start to come down. Yeah, flight level change isn't working. It's not doing what it should do. Should be like an IAS mode. So let's just take her down at 600 feet a minute. I'll just pull the power to keep the speed. Oh, that ad about do you want money? Right, yes, they do want it back. Speaking of which, let's turn the radio off now. We'll get our landing lights on since we're going to be coming in. This has duplicated its effort for some reason. So we're just going to come up and around and then we'll go into approach mode when we get up there. So we do got a little bit of distance to run to get out. It'll be about 17 miles this way, and then we loop back and around. That's why I've got it descending, 500 feet per minute is fine. I have to activate approach. Procedure, activate approach. Ah! Thank you, Talia. Let's see what happens with this. I don't know where it's taking me, though. Kind of shooting off this way. Oh, I know what it's doing. This has got me on the actual approach mode. This is the DME arc that was on the actual approach. This is taking me in on the arrival star. So that's fine. I know we're heading up to the SD351 point. I believe there's the airport down there. We're good. We'll do this. As long as it gets us north of the airport, pointing in the right direction, and then we can do our arrival. Yeah, see, this has got the arc, but it's actually flying me up to the, I don't know where it's flying me. I don't know why it's kind of said, yeah, you're going this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go into heading mode. I'm going to take us kind of up. That way, so that we can actually fly down to do the intercept. We'll go 330. So when we land, let's take a look at the airport. There's a cargo area and a passenger area. There's no general aviation type of ramp area, so we're going to go into the B gates, which is the north side of the terminal. Yeah, seems to be. Alright, so what we can do is we can go back and I can switch this over to that. There's the glide slope and localizer. We're just going to basically head up this way, then we'll turn around and come back in. It's 114.7 for the airport VOR. Let's throw that on too. And we'll bring that up over here. There we go. So we get the NDB off that way, which is out that way. We got the airport, which is back behind us on the left. We got the glide slope and localizer. We're all good. Speed's good. Lights are on. The sun is coming down. We're just arriving in time for dinner. And there's everybody coming in. It's all looking good. And the airport's down over this way. So intercept altitude is actually 2,000 feet, so we'll set 2,000. 3,000 at Volam. And we have 1,100 to go. NDB right there. You can see it's almost directly off our left side. So we're going to come up, we're going to fly through our 354, and then we're going to arc around and come in for the intercept. Glide slope's coming up, so we're getting there. You bring us down a little bit quicker. So we're now going to turn to a heading. So 170, we want 30 degrees, so it'll be 190 roughly. I'll go 192 for an honest 30 degrees. We're through 3,000 feet. Looking very nice out there. There's the airport. Yeah. Good point. That it happens. I mean, I'm sure it does. So there's the airport there. We're heading in for an intercept on the glide slope. Airport's currently 13 miles away. That gives us our distance to the airport. And we're flying directly to that MDB, as you can see. And that's roughly where we should be capturing the localizer. 2,000 feet coming up. All right, we're pulling out of the descent. Power's coming back up. Propeller's going full forward. Inertial separator is out. There's the glide slope. Approach mode activated. Approach mode activated. Get off roll mode. Okay, why aren't you turning? Try this capture again. Start bringing the speed back. Localizer's coming in. Let's see if it'll do it on its own. Okay. Doesn't want to do it, so we'll fly manually. That's fine. Sometimes you got to take matters into your own hands. Notch your flaps, speed coming back. Landing flaps. To get her centered up again. And we're slightly high. This is the FlightSim.to scenery Nick found and put in the Discord. See how it looks when we get down. Approach speed is good. We're about 85 knots, slightly under. We're still slightly high. I'm going to ease power slightly. Landing lights are on. Flaps are full. Props fully forward. And cabin is ready. At this point, it's all about minute corrections. So we're still high, that's fine. I'm watching the lights. I can see 3 whites at the moment. So I'm just easing the power slightly and let it settle in. There we are, we're lined up again. Yeah, 3 whites, 1 red. Say 2 whites, 2 red. So we're on the path. Power up slightly, just shallow the descent rate to keep us coming down on the proper path. $500 to go. Again, minimums are 216 feet, but we can see the runway, so minimums aren't an issue. Slightly low. A little bit of power. Again, that'll flatten us out. Shallow the descent rate. Right now I'm just watching the touchdown points. There we go. Make sure they don't move up and down. A little bit of power. Touchdowns in sight. Just minimums. Slight crosswind from the left. Not a big deal. Easing back on the power, looking down the runway, keeping around the center line. Hold it. Dealing with the wind. Speed coming back. And we're down. Taxi down to Delta. Hey, Willie! How you doing, sir? So we're going to taxi down to Delta, where we'll get off. There's Delta coming up. Got that wind pushing the tail. It's making us go a little bit squirrely. There we go. We'll get off here. Oh, welcome to the Dominican Republic. There's the airport. There's everybody else coming in behind. Yeah, Willie, I know. It was the first day we had with really good weather, and I spent the day down by the lake. I was out with some friends, so it was nice to get out. It was like 16 degrees here yesterday. Alright, so we're going up to Bravo 4. It's because there's nowhere else to park around here. And they'll have to walk in from the ramp. There we go. We're here ready to spend our week in the Dominican. So parking brakes are on. Left all the lights on, that's fine. Turn those off. And we can shut her down. Start shutting it all down. We'll get the Fuel pump off. That's off. That's off. These are off. Batteries off. And all the lights. So here we are. Nicely set up in the Dominican. There's the DC3 on final, and Dark Fury's coming in as well. Oh, that was a good flight. Only a couple more to go, and we end up back in the Bahamas where it all started. Willie, hope you're doing well. Thanks for popping in at the end of the stream. Always good to see you. So that's going to do her, folks. Thanks for coming along and flying on this one. Our next stream is tomorrow morning. We're back in Norway in the Twin Otter. So, no, scenery's not too bad. There was talk about certain things missing, but yeah, it looks like it is actually up to date. So, it looks pretty good. There's the DC3 on the runway. And, of course, we got Dark coming in behind. Alrighty, folks, once again, thanks for joining us for the stream. See you next time. Bye for now.